Hey, what is going on, guys? Welcome everyone back to another Call of Duty video. Hopefully you are all enjoying your day, and as you can see by the title, we are back with another top 5 change video. But yes, we are specifically going to be looking at Infinite Warfare, and surprisingly this is my first Infinite Warfare video since the release of the Infinite Warfare game with Modern Warfare Remastered. But as I said, we're going to be looking at beta changes in the game, what has changed since the beta of Infinite Warfare to the full game. However, in one of these changes, we're going to be looking at something quite special. But before we get into the video, I am doing a giveaway. If you don't have the game, you don't have the money to buy the game, this is the giveaway for you. All you got to do is like the video down below, comment down below why you want the game and what console you want it on. And basically, it's just the Infinite Warfare Legacy Edition, which does come with Modern Warfare Remastered if you want. It's just an easy giveaway. Like the video, comment down below why you want it and what console you get it on, and all the winners will be announced on my Twitter November 10th. So heading into the first change that we're going to be looking at in today's video, this actually doesn't have anything to do with the Infinite Warfare beta whatsoever, but I really had to add this into the video because a lot of people don't know this, and I thought might as well spread some awareness about it because I think it is something pretty cool and neat that they've added into the game. So basically, as you can see on the screen right now, what we're looking at is 3 maps, and guess what? They are pretty much all identical. The first map is on Modern Warfare 3, and this map is called Dome. If you remember, it's a very small map. It had a lot of close quarter action that a lot of people did like because you were always in the enemy's face. But more or less, guess what happened? In Call of Duty Ghosts, the same map was made, and it was called Strike Zone. Now, technically, this wasn't a remake. They just added this into the game, and more or less, people ended up figuring out that basically Strike Zone was the same as Dome in Modern Warfare 3. And guess what? When Infinite Warfare came around, the map Genesis is basically a remake of Strike Zone, which is a remake of Dome. So basically, there's been like 2 or 3 remakes of Dome, and I'm not really sure if it's meant to be intentional all the time since all 3 remakes are pretty much Dome in the game. But as you can see on the screen right now, this is Strike Zone versus Genesis, and this is more or less a comparison between the two. Obviously, the one on the left is Ghost, and the one on the right is some Infinite Warfare gameplay, but basically you can see how similar these 2 maps are. Now, nowhere in the game or anything announced from the people in Infinity Ward have actually confirmed that it is a remake, but basically looking at the gameplay, you can already tell that they've basically stolen or copied the exact same map layout, and obviously made it more futuristic in Infinite Warfare. And to be honest, the game looks a bit bland in Infinite Warfare. They don't have as much detailing or anything like that, just like what Ghost did. However, as you can see, the game obviously has better graphics and whatnot, but apart from that, it's a cool little change that they added into Infinite Warfare. As I said before, I'm not really sure if this is meant to be intentional. I'm not really sure if they thought people would figure this out, but as you can see, the game's only like a day or 2 old. People have already figured out that we have gotten the same Dome remake like 3 times in 3 different games, which is absolutely insane. So I want to know what you guys think in the comment section down below. Do you think they should give us a brand new, totally different map than what Genesis is, or should we keep it? I really like to know what you guys want. Personally, I don't care about the map whatsoever. I think it's absolutely beautiful in this game, but I still think it's kind of funny how they ended up changing this into Infinite Warfare because we've had the same exact remake 3 times in a row in 3 different games. Now, heading into the second change in today's video that we're going to be looking at in Infinite Warfare, it has to be the menu design, or more or less the color and the aesthetic of the menu. So back in the beta, as you can see, it had this horrible white kind of plain looking menu screen, and more or less when I played the beta, this was the first thing that I hated. I don't know why, but I felt that it was too bright and unnecessary for it to be this white. But since then, guess what? They have fixed this issue, and basically they have changed the background. It has a nice little orange like detailing around some areas. The create a class system is a bit more different. It's a bit more detailed, and there's actually some background behind it, or some background elements behind it now, which is pretty cool. And all in all, I personally like it better just because I really did not like the white one before, and it was the first thing I noticed when I loaded up the full released game a few days ago. So I think that is an awesome change, even though that's a little aesthetic change. Little changes like this really do change the game in terms of quality and whatnot. But let me know in the comment section down below. Did you prefer the old menu design or the new one? Personally, I prefer the new one. I think it looks so much more better, and I hope they keep changing this because it looks good. So heading into the third change in today's video in Infinite Warfare, this is a change that is going to annoy a lot of snipers who like to quick scope, get feeds, or maybe even trick shot, because guess what? In the full release game, it is totally nerfed with the sniping. Now, in the beta, I found that I died by snipers, to be honest, quite easily, which was a little bit annoying because there is some pretty good snipers in the beta, or people who were sniping pretty well. But since the full game, guess what? They've nerfed the damn thing. And on the Reddit, basically what has happened is an Infinite Warfare spokesperson made a Reddit or a subreddit talking about the changes, and the snipers was one of the biggest changes that have changed since the beta to the full release of the game. Basically, in the subreddit, it says this: bullet spread at the hip no longer gets smaller as the player ADSs. Once the scope reaches the player's eye, the bullet spread goes instantly to 0. Now, starting off with what this means, basically what it's saying is when you're no-scoping, the spread is big. So normally when you no-scope in this game, usually the bullet kind of goes straight down the middle. Well, guess what? It happens to be spreaded a lot more wider or further, just like a shotgun where it goes left and right all over the place. It's basically going to be the same thing. And what it's also saying is when you aim down the sights, you know how the crosshairs get smaller as you aim in, so you get more accurate? Well, guess what? It's not accurate anymore. Aiming down your sights and shooting someone is basically like no-scoping someone now. It's not going to be accurate whatsoever. And to go on top of this, the only time it becomes accurate when you're sniping is when the scope is fully zoomed in into someone, or as soon as it hits your eye. Once you can see the scope, guess what? There is no more bullet spread and it becomes normal. Basically, when you're in the middle of scoping in like a normal quick scope, it's not going to work. It's basically going to be a no scope and it's not going to be accurate whatsoever. However, as soon as I guess you could say, do a little bit of a hard scope, and as soon as you can see the scope, guess what? You can then kill your enemy and then it's fine. And to put on top of all of this, guess what? They even nerfed it even further, because what has happened is when you put the quick draw attachment to aim in faster, guess what? It is actually slower now, and that's what they've changed in the game. And thirdly, guess what? When you are trying to snipe someone, the flinch is higher. So it says updated snipers to have more flinch when getting shot. So when you're trying to snipe someone and you're getting shot, your recoil is going to be all over the place. And I'm not sure about you sniper guys, but basically Infinite Warfare have screwed you over a ton, because sniping looks like it's going to be quite difficult this year. Moving over to the second last change in Infinite Warfare, more specifically the fourth change we're going to be looking at. What they have also added into the subreddit that they've changed in the full game is stuff to do with the economy, or more specifically supply drops and whatnot. Now, in the beta, I thought getting supply drops was a little bit hard because getting crypto keys seemed to take forever in the beta, but looks like they've actually increased the rate, which is awesome. Basically, in the subreddit, it says increase salvage gain in mission teams. So if you're getting variants with weapons, you need to use those salvage stuff. So basically, they've been increased in mission teams, which is awesome. So heading over to what they have changed as well, they've also changed the currency value in supply drops. So I'm going to safely assume that certain things that were rated a certain value in previous supply drops in the beta are changed differently in the full game, which is quite interesting. So I guess we have to play more to see exactly what those items will be worth now. And last but not least, what they have also changed is the rate of keys or crypto keys that you get in Infinite Warfare. And basically it says that increased drop rate of keys in round-based mode. So search and destroy, domination, basically any round-based mode, you're going to be getting more crypto keys in the game, which is absolutely fantastic, because I personally thought it was way too slow in the beta. So obviously getting more crypto keys to get better weapons and supply drops is absolutely awesome, and that is a welcome change to the game, which I absolutely do love. And heading into the fifth and final beta change in today's video that has changed in the full game to Infinite Warfare, it has to be matchmaking. Now, if you were a person getting into laggy games in the beta and you're always lagging, getting those red bars, guess what? Apparently they have fixed the issue, as it says in the subreddit. It basically says that incorrect geographic categorization, there was an issue in our geolocation system which has caused some players to be incorrectly categorized. So basically that's going to help you guys get into lobbies better, because you'll be categorized in certain locations and you'll be matched with those people. So obviously you get a faster lobby. And what's quite interesting, they actually have dedicated servers now in Infinite Warfare. Apparently in the beta there was a lot of host migrations and there were poor lack of quality matches, but basically in this subreddit it says that they've optimized their dedicated servers, so it's so much better for you guys to play on now. And basically matchmaking in general to me hasn't really affected me at all. I thought it's been perfectly fine since the beta, but some people have had issues, and I hope it's resolved now so you can be able to play the game. But nonetheless, that is going to be today's video, looking at some beta changes from Infinite Warfare beta to the full game of Infinite Warfare. If you guys want me to continue the series, let me know in the comment section down below. If you do want to enter into that giveaway, like the video, comment down below why you want Infinite Warfare, and comment down below what console you guys wanted on. Hope you guys did enjoy today's video, and I will catch you guys later. Globe out.